Kayla, what did you really like about the Bottega Veneta CEO's presentation?
Well, I thought that he made a lot of really good points using experience from his time at Bottega Veneta. So he talked about when before they were bought by at that point it was called Gucci Group PPR. They kind of had lost their core values of being a very discreet, luxurious brand and had started just putting their name all across their handbags, all across everything, and how that didn't work for them because that wasn't what their brand was supposed to be. That wasn't what their customers looked for. Their customers were really looking for that discreet luxury, the really handmade, artisanal leather handbags and things like that. So that was really interesting. And then he also talked about how when they got back into their core values of this discreet luxury, there was right around when the recession started and kind of this economy got really unstable, but they chose not to cut their prices at all because he was saying that the short-term goals and decisions have to also mirror the same things that you want in the long term. So your decisions, for one, if it's something as big as cutting prices or changing and not having handcraftmanship on your products, if it's things like that, you're not going to be able to change them in the short term and go back to your long-term goals afterwards. You really have to keep your kind of company's values and your company's reputation and image in mind throughout the whole thing. You can't go making kind of rash decisions in the face of an unstable economy, especially when you're a luxury brand. To cut prices could really mean not being able to go back to your regular prices or going back to handcrafted items and asking consumers to pay those prices again. So he really made some really good points based on things that they had seen at Bottega Veneta, and he used their comeback as a way to show other brands what they should or shouldn't do.
Now, you mentioned logos and slapping logos on practically everything. Brings to mind what Calvin Klein and Yves Saint Laurent and Pierre Cardin and even Gucci Group at one point did. I mean, you could find their logos on practically everything. And then slowly and steadily they started clawing back their licenses. And of course Pierre Cardin wasn't around to do that, but they realized that the exclusive nature of the brand was kind of lost. And they became just too popular to be luxury. So did he give you a sense that Bottega Veneta is now firmly established as a high-end luxury brand?
Yes, very much so. He went through and explained all the different things they're doing to bring in new artisans and train them. He was saying that for their Bottega Veneta Cabot handbag, one of their most iconic bags and that they've had around forever, the artisans have to have 15 years minimum experience to make those handbags. So they're starting at the university level and bringing in artisans from there, bringing them right in for 3 years of training, and then they can start making some of the smaller leather goods, and they kind of work their way up. So I think it was really an emphasis on this hand craftsmanship for them that kind of just proved their luxury status and how much passion they put into their products.
All right, we've got this in the bag.